Hey guys, how is it going? GM, EM, LM. What's up, Sherpas? Already had some people who logged in as early as 16 minutes beforehand to make sure they don't miss anything. But good to see everyone. Where's everyone dialing in from or checking out the stream from? See a few familiar faces already. Guest Guru, the Sherpa legend on X. One of our most supportive community members putting out amazing content and information. Hello, Tim, Talia. How's it going, guys? Michael, Sulman, Walid. What's up, fam? Afraz, Muhammad. How's everyone doing? Mercy Snow. Let's just give it a minute or two and then I'll kick off. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. These are always fairly interesting, fun-filled events. For the most part, they're pretty great opportunities to share with what we've been doing. Obviously, the ones who follow our socials have seen a lot of the kind of explosive growth that we've had over the last few months. It's been really good. Let's see what else. Chloe, what's up? Hemsworth. Will there be more engaging Galxe campaigns? Yes, we have a lot more of these coming, both on and off chain tasks and point systems. We have a ton of stuff actually. Talal, appreciate you. Omken, salam from Spain. Chioma, Monu, everyone. Tim, can you elaborate on Galaxy Quest for Testnet a little more? I'll talk about Galaxy Quest in a little bit, but let me just kind of get into it. We've clearly got a decent amount of folks in line checking us out. So let's get it started. So this will be the kind of review for the month of April, which has been a very, very busy month. We've had a lot of stuff come out. Obviously, the cornerstone of this was the launch of the Hongbai Testnet, which is the second phase of our testnet. We've had great success. We launched that on April, April 8th. And I think I'm actually just going to check the Galxe campaign. We have had over 850,000 participants who have done Galaxy Quest for the Hongbai reward program, which is insane. That's just in, just about a month. So in 4 weeks, we've had nearly 1 million people participating on these Galaxy Quests to earn OM rewards from the gen drop that will be occurring, which is amazing. We've seen a significant amount of users coming into the ecosystem, coming into the community, wanting to learn more about Mantra, more about OM. Obviously, we're really excited about the progress and, excited to have a lot more opportunities for you guys to earn points, play around, test out dApps, test out some of the functionalities of the products. So a lot of interesting stuff is coming. Angela, great question. How does Grayscale entry into the RWA space impact Mantra? So that'll be another thing. We'll touch on that. But let's just go down the list of things. So April is a very busy month, have been all over the place. We launched our testnet at the Token 2049 event in Dubai. We were one of the sponsors there. I gave a keynote about bringing RWAs to the cosmos, which was good. If you haven't seen that, come check it out on YouTube. Actually, I think you can also find it on Twitter probably, but YouTube. That was good. We were well attended there. Had a great showing. A lot of team members in there. A lot of partners. A lot of investors. A lot of supporters. We also part of the Binance Clubhouse. Binance is obviously one of the groups that we work with heavily, which has been amazing. To be a part of their program at the Token 2049 event. They had this really cool structure where they had multiple floors with KOLs, with traders, with VIP clients who were able to learn more about Mantra, learn more about what we're building, and obviously share more in detail with them on a face-to-face basis, which was awesome. Even with the craziness of the weather in Dubai, I don't know if you guys saw how nuts it was. Probably the most biblical flooding and rain that Dubai and the UAE has had in nearly 75 years. So we were just fortunate enough that we were able to, participate, and the show went on. So that was good. Walter, the Binance Clubhouse, I believe it was open for other folks. It wasn't just for VIPs. I was in and out. I was like constantly in meetings, constantly talking to investors, constantly talking to partners, which was good. So yeah, that was a crazy week, particularly with the weather. But we had a great showing, great turnout. I think a lot of people really kind of could see how we are situated in Dubai, in the UAE, which is one of our major hubs and major support systems. We're really putting a lot of emphasis on our plans for the region, not just in Dubai, but the broader UAE and GCC MENA region. As I've mentioned, I think before, we want to be the layer one for asset tokenization between the Middle East and Asia, and we'll start there and then expand even more so. But we have big ambitions and big plans for the region, and connecting that to where I'm based currently, which is Hong Kong, which is obviously where we were started. One of the things I would want to talk about, which was already previously mentioned, was the Grayscale report. So Grayscale, obviously, a very big name in the space, does very good institutional research, has a lot of very institutional products, mentioned Mantra and our chain in their report on tokenization. So we are one of two, I think, non-general smart contract platforms, so like more specified in specific smart contract platforms for asset tokenization. So it was really exciting that they did that. That was not prompted by us. Like, actually, I just had someone randomly send me a report on that, and it was, very, very cool to see that, our project is getting mentioned, next to the likes of big, large layer ones that you all know from, the top of the charts and the top of CMC and CG. So that was really, a really proud moment for the team. But obviously, we're just getting started. We have a crazy pipeline of deal flow of assets that will be coming in, and some really exciting stuff coming in May. And beyond. So I won't spoil the fun on that, but there is some pretty cool stuff on the horizon. Let's see, there's a lot of questions coming in, so I will try to get to some of them. Let me just take a little bit of a pause here. Actually, there's so many questions. Let's see. There's too many questions. Anyway, okay. So please, guys, if you're going to ask the same question, just do it like once. I will try to get to as many as I can in the end, but let me just try to get to some of these because it's hard to see everyone as they ask so many questions back and forth. Anywho, what else? So as I mentioned, Hongbai was launched. It's been about a month now. We're going to have more engaging Galxe quests. I think the most recent one, which was the stake to the Mantra node on Atom, was very good. You need to stake a minimum of 10 Atom to the Mantra node. Last I checked, which I can actually check right now, the Mantra node has basically gone from inactive because it was just not something that we had from a legacy and from the history to now being in the top, I think 78 as of right now. We went from having a couple thousand delegators, maybe even less, to nearly 10,000. Some interesting stuff about that. Obviously, you'll be eligible for the Galxe points if you stake at least 10 Atom. There will be a separate part of the airdrop or the gen drop, which will be around just Atom stakers in general. So we wanted to clear that up. We did talk to the community about that. There was some pushback on understanding what were the requirements, and these are two separate things, right? So there's the Galxe quest, and then there's the general Atom staker quest. And obviously, these things are just general top of funnel, requirements. There'll be other things that need to do. It's impossible for us to give airdrops to every single person, particularly passive individuals. Like, we want to have active participating in the airdrop, the gen drop, and obviously that's an important thing. But it's two distinct quests or two distinct ways to be eligible. That being said, the Galxe quest has been incredibly successful. Ooh, Moise, you have a good question about this DAO proposal. I will get to your question in just a bit. So we had said that, or I had said, I think I tweeted something yesterday about once we got to 188,000 Atom staked, I would drop a bad kid to the person who staked the 188,000 Atom. Apparently some whale came in and staked like 20,000 Atom or something, which is pretty nuts. But anyway, that was blasted through, and now we're at nearly 550,000 a day later, which is nuts. In the top 80 data validators, and nearly 9,300 delegators. So we have a crazy amount of people who are participating, which is awesome. I also said that once we reach 10,000 individual delegators, I will randomly drop to one of the 10,000. So once we get to 10,000, we'll look at who's staked and do a random, airdrop of a bad kid. So I'm going to be picking out at least 2 bad kids that we can drop, which would be pretty cool. So check that out. But as I mentioned, we'll have more Galxe quests coming, more exciting things for the community to participate in, and even some rewards that people can earn a little bit more passively as part of the quest. So coming up a little bit, Consensus. So Consensus in Austin is obviously one of the biggest conferences in the US. We're very excited that we'll have a presence. I'll be giving a little keynote again, and also we'll be hosting some discussions around RWAs, asset tokenization, etc. So that's definitely great. We're going to have a bit of a presence there. I think actually just from a conference perspective, we also have one of our team members, Ben, at the E3O. I believe that's next week. So if anyone's in Brazil and in Rio, then make sure to check that out. And if you're going to be in the US at Consensus in Austin, also let us know. It will be an exciting time. And make sure to check out the panel. I think we're one of the first of the day, so that'll be good. What else? Oh yeah, we also launched the lock product on Binance. So Binance has a simple earn product where you can earn up to 19.99% APR for locked staking on Ethereum. That will obviously be a good way for people who are already trading on Binance or already holding on Binance to be able to get a little bit more reward for their tokens and for the holdings. So not financial advice, do your own research, but that is an interesting product that you can use and look at if you want to get some additional rewards for your ERC20s on Binance or your BNB or your Poly tokens. I would say personally, you're going to get a better return, not financial advice always. You're going to get a better return in ohm terms if you stake natively on the ERC20, Poly, or BNB chain on either the Mantra Finance app or the Sherpa Stake app, which is a community-run platform, which is, I think, just a fork of our existing Mantra platform, which effectively allows you to be eligible for the up to 1.35x multiplier for staked assets on mainnet. So mainnet is still on track for later this year. No more exact details other than towing the party line of after the summer and before the US election. So we'll keep that consistent. So what else do I have to say? So one thing that we are excited about, because actually there was a good question from the community, which was effectively about are there any more DAO proposals coming up? So I do want to kind of talk a little bit about one thing that we're going to be suggesting, and hopefully the community will be supportive of. But effectively, we want to move some of our ohm liquidity from Ethereum, which I think we have, gosh, I don't even know how much, like $20 million of liquidity or something kind of ridiculous. That might not be the case. We have a decent amount of liquidity on Ethereum right now, and we on Uniswap. We want to propose that the association and the DAO moves a portion of it, a small portion of that liquidity over to Base Chain. Obviously, Base Chain is the permission blockchain by Coinbase. There's a lot of interesting use cases for asset tokenization, for compliant dApps, etc., over on Base Chain. And we're keen to explore that together with them and with Base to be able to offer ohm on Uniswap on Base. So the idea would be to migrate some of this liquidity, remove it from the Uniswap LP stack on Ethereum, and migrate that to base chain to give another chain, a multi-chain environment for people to go and trade base. I think this is a good opportunity to expand, own liquidity onto multiple different chains. Obviously, when it comes to, mainnet and Cosmos, that'll be something that we'll also be talking about, and we'll probably run through the DAO proposal as well, where you'll be able to then obviously, migrate Ohm liquidity to additional Cosmos ecosystem DEXs. So obviously we're going to be on the majors over there, so you can kind of imagine what where we're going to be. But anyway, that's kind of the idea. One of the things I think on the topic of liquidity that is important to discuss is that RWAs and assets in general, RWA assets in general, have never really been able to become liquid at scale yet. And I think there's a few reasons why, and I think it's something that we're working on solving. So I just want to kind of like unpack that a little bit. One, there has been technical limitations in the space for RWAs, and I think people are trying to solve for that by creating DEXs and AMMs and things where RWAs can trade. Obviously, this is a great starting point. It'll give a little bit more opportunity for retail to be able to participate. But then that brings you to the second consideration, which is regulation. And RWAs in general are more regulated assets. They're more regulated products, and because of that, you need licensing to support this secondary market trading. There hasn't really been regulated secondary markets, and if there have been, they've been mainly for institutional investors and not for retail. So that's obviously something that we're working on too. We're in the process of getting that license to start in the UAE with Vara. We're at the last mile of that process, so almost there. And we're very excited about that. Once we finally get that across the line, that'll be very big for Mantra, very big for the ability to offer, a regulated venue for secondary market trading of different types of tokenized products. And I think one of the other things is that, you haven't ever really had a protocol that from the ground up really supports liquidity provision and almost like the underwriting of liquidity to RWAs or just general assets that are built on the blockchain. So because of that, we want to bake into our tokenomic model a idea where as new tokens are emitted, supporting validator economics and validator requirements, we can also utilize this like token emissions to effectively push into and do token swaps with other communities, other RWA projects, other protocols to effectively create liquidity pools for all these different types of assets from day one. So there's always a liquid market there. Definitely something that we're excited about. So combining kind of our technological advancements, our regulatory first mover, as well as this kind of tokenomic incentive model from our side, and this is kind of our like tokenomic how should you call it, like liquidity provision, I guess. We'll basically use that as a way to kind of kickstart and juice initial liquidity for assets which in the past have not really been liquid. So we're really excited about that, and obviously we'll be fleshing out and sharing more token economic details and transparency reports. So these are coming in the imminent future. Let's see, maybe let's just pause there and take a couple questions from the audience. Let's see. Let's see. Will there be mentorship programs offered to the support participants in the next hackathon? Great question. So obviously we have had a hackathon back in end of March, I believe. We'll be doing more hackathons, both in person and virtual, but I think we want to do in-person ones as the primary focus at the moment. So we're looking to do the next one, I believe, sometime within this quarter. Don't quote me on that. But obviously, we're going to be kicking off our incubator now, or not our incubator announcement, our incubator period, and we'll be finalizing the 5 participants that will be, taking part in the next week or two, announcing those different various protocols, what they're building, sharing more information about them, and then they'll be headed off to Dubai to kickstart the program and start building on onchain. That'll be a very cool program. They're going to be able to, have a great summer program in Dubai, in Hong Kong, in Silicon Valley, in Singapore, ending up in Token, and then eventually deploying on mainnet. So it'll be super exciting for them. We're going to give them a lot of support, housing, technical support, funding, like cloud and infrastructure support, tokenomics, regulatory consulting, tax, structuring, advisory support, basically everything, founder support, investor support, pretty much you name it, we're going to help with. So it'll be a really cool program. We're going to be filming a lot of content around it, so you can kind of see the life of building a project from the ground up, which will be hopefully very interesting and hopefully relatively inspiring for anyone who's thinking about building something on chain, thinking about building something in the RWA space. We want to build a community culture that supports people to actually develop and kind of build and push the edge of finance forward and bring that financial ecosystem on chain, which is effectively our mission. Let's see. Okay, some further questions. A lot more now. Most exciting things in the pipeline after the incentivized testnet. Well, obviously, after the incentivized testnet wraps up, then it's mainnet. So I think that's pretty exciting. But I can't obviously tell you what is the most exciting things before they happen, because that would ruin the surprise. So we have a bunch of stuff in the pipeline, RWA partnerships, both on the Web3 side as well as like traditional finance institution side, technical partnerships. We are obviously in the process of working on additional exchange listings. I will put that out there. Nothing set in stone just yet, but it's in the works, making good progress there. We have some pretty cool products that we're originating and we're structuring, and we're figuring out ways to bring them to market that you guys can get, able to invest into, yield from, etc. This will be obviously pre mainnet even. So just keep an eye out for that. Let's see what else. John is asking about these DAO proposals. So talking back to the base deployment and the base migration for Ohm liquidity. So we will be putting up a DAO proposal, so you guys can actually see the specifics of the proposal, and then you guys will be able to vote on that. I think tomorrow it's coming out. Again, don't quote me on it, but I'm fairly certain that it'll be out tomorrow, and you guys can opine, share feedback, and have a say in the governance of how we operate. Wild Crypto question: what was the reason to partner with RWA Inc.? Obviously we're in a process of exploring various different RWA infrastructure and ecosystem providers. RWA Inc. is looking at the space as a, I guess kind of like service provider and support system. So they were interested in working together with us and pushing their projects, their ecosystem to Mantra. So it's a good funnel and good pipeline, and the team is super, like, they're OGs on RWA side. They've been looking in the space for a while, so they're just the start of the different partnerships that are more RWA specific. But we're also working across like just more generic DeFi partnerships, more just crypto native partnerships. We do have some interesting stuff coming out with meme coins. I know there's like a lot of teams that are actually super keen to build meme related things on Mantra chain. I think it's kind of like an oxymoron to think of like a meme coin and RWA, which are one being super like buttoned up and institutional in nature, and the other one being obviously like a little bit more out there and wild west and crypto native. But it is an interesting marriage if you can kind of put those two together. crypto world, when can we see onchain mainnet? And I will be very pleading the fifth on this one, and just after summer, before U.S. election. So let me just take one last peek. We're getting into the 25 minutes plus now. I think I've covered the majority of things. We do have some really, really exciting stuff coming up for May. I don't want to talk too much because I would prefer not to overhype the things, but I'm super excited about this month. Just wait. So it's gonna be super exciting to share with you guys what's happening. As always, I've been doing crazy amounts of AMAs and podcasts and other things. So you're gonna see more insights that are developing that I'm not always able to talk about on these type of things. And also just a little bit more into how I'm thinking about building Mantra and the business and the strategy that we're using and how we see the RWA space and whatnot. So yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff. I'm crazy busy with these type of things, with partnership things, with talking to investors, etc. So the team's working really hard. Super proud of them. Appreciate the community. The community's grown, super crazily over the last month or so. I think we have 150,000 people in Telegram now, and also in Discord. So a lot of people are joining the community and learning more about Ohm for the first time, which is awesome to see. That's what we want. We're going to keep getting and pushing more content into the broader space via research reports, via news media, via PRs. So just be on the lookout. As always, I appreciate you guys spending time. And interesting. Someone sent me a message. Bybit to integrate Athena Labs USDE as a collateral asset and in Bitcoin and other spot trading pairs. Huh. Okay, that's cool. Anywho, so I appreciate you guys coming on, asking questions. Guess, good question. What the transformation from Mantra Finance to Omega will mean for Sherpas? I will tell you that later. You will see. It's a very interesting kind of development in the ecosystem shift, but there's a lot of nuance into that, and we'll need to spend more time to unpack it. But not only, it's more than a rebrand. There's a method to the madness. There's a lot of different things that are going to go into it, and we're super excited to share that with you in due course. Obviously, I did mention that at the Token 49 event in Dubai. So yeah, if you haven't seen that keynote, go check it out on YouTube. And so yeah, let's see a couple more questions because there's some good ones that came in. Any specific regions or markets that Mantra is targeting for expansion after Dubai and Hong Kong? I think just expanding within the Middle East. Abu Dhabi is an interesting market. I was just in Saudi last week. I think Saudi's a very interesting market actually, but it's going to take some time to develop. We're looking in the Korean market a lot. Korea is super interesting for us. So yeah, what else? Sarah, you says you found a bug on the testnet. If you found a bug, please reach out in Telegram, in Discord, or over support email, and we will happily receive your feedback and hopefully be able to fix whatever bug you perhaps have found. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. And yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you guys very much for the time as always. It's a pleasure. I will see you guys very soon again. And thank you for the support. Have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, and appreciate you guys. Have a good one.